Imagine turning on the television and seeing thousands of people in a stadium clapping along to a waltz. Not a pop song, not rock music, a classical waltz. At the center of it all stands a smiling violinist in a tuxedo, bow moving like a dancer. That man is Rieu. And behind the elegance, the castles, and the sold-out concerts lies a story far bigger than music. Because what most people don't realize is that Rieu didn't just build a career. He built an empire that nearly collapsed more than once. Born in 1949 in Maastricht, Netherlands, André Rieu grew up in a home where music was part of everyday life. His father conducted the Maastricht Symphony Orchestra, which meant rehearsals, orchestral discussions, and classical compositions filled the house. For young André, the violin wasn't just an instrument, it was a language. By the time he was a child, he was already chasing perfection with the quiet obsession that often shapes great musicians. But talent alone wasn't enough. To sharpen his skills, Rieu studied at the Royal Conservatory of Brussels, one of Europe's most respected music schools. Under the guidance of master violinists, he trained relentlessly and eventually earned the Premier Prix, a prestigious recognition that marked him as a rising talent. Yet something inside him felt unfinished. Classical music, he believed, had become too stiff, too distant from ordinary people. So he did something risky. In 1987, Rieu created the Johann Strauss Orchestra, beginning with just 12 musicians. His idea was simple but radical: make classical music joyful again. Instead of rigid performances, he encouraged smiles, dancing, and audience participation. When the orchestra debuted on January 1st, 1988, it didn't look like traditional classical concerts. It looked like a celebration, and people loved it. Now, the orchestra grew quickly. By 2008, it had expanded to 43 musicians, and later performances included 50 to 60 members on stage. What began as a modest European project slowly turned into a global touring phenomenon. Then came a strange moment that changed everything. In 1995, during an international football match in Amsterdam, Rieu purchased 60 seconds of television airtime to perform Shostakovich's Second Waltz. Right before halftime, Ajax scored a goal, meaning millions of viewers were glued to their screens. The next week, Rieu reportedly sold 200,000 CDs. In a single moment, the violinist became a household name. Success followed at breathtaking speed. His tours began ranking among Billboard's top 25 tours for nearly 20 years, sharing space with artists like Bruce Springsteen and Justin Bieber. By 2018, his performances had generated around $550 million in earnings, making him the highest-grossing classical artist in box score history. But building that empire wasn't easy. At one point, Rieu admitted he needed about $1 million a month just to keep his operation running. More than 110 people were on payroll, with another 100 freelancers supporting concerts, costumes, staging, and logistics. His traveling orchestra even had chefs, fitness trainers, and childcare for musicians' families. Critics sometimes called it too theatrical, too commercial, but Rieu never apologized. Because his real goal wasn't approval from classical purists. It was something simpler. He wanted audiences to feel joy, and maybe that's the real secret behind André Rieu's success. Not just technical mastery or priceless violins or castles in the Netherlands. It was the belief that music, no matter how old, should still make people smile, clap, and feel alive.